We won, the farmers won, New England won.
Turned out okay, yeah, but it didn't look good at the time when I retired.
Without our farmers behind us, we never would have made it through this, because they went through the tough times with us.
These days, Agri-Mark is the largest dairy cooperative based in the Northeast, with plants in Vermont, New York, and Massachusetts, processing milk from 1,200 family farms. Agri-Mark's brands are doing well, and farmers' returns are strong. The directors who helped create Agri-Mark are proud of what they have accomplished.
Very proud of Agri-Mark, period. It isn't one person.
All the farmer owners worked hard to build Agri-Mark, and it wasn't always easy. Some recall when pressures on the cooperative were especially difficult.
I can remember going to classic farm meetings where people were just so upset. And it was also spurred on by dealers that didn't want farmers to get too much control of their product. And they whipped that up some. And now Agri-Mark is looked upon as tiny compared to national trends.
Before Agri-Mark, there were more than a dozen dairy cooperatives in the Northeast. There were mergers, and over time, Yankee Milk was formed.
Yankee Milk was a merger of three cooperatives, which was New England Milk Producers Federation and United Farmers Association and Connecticut Milk Producers merged and formed Yankee Milk.
Controlling much of the New England market, Yankee Milk did well. When the H.P. Hood Company came up for sale, Agway, a farmers' co-op from Syracuse, New York, approached Yankee Milk about a partnership. Lou Longo was head of Yankee Milk back then. He eventually merged 16 co-ops to create Agri-Mark.
We formed Agri-Mark rather than Yankee Milk, so we could bring in a couple of other cooperatives that were still out there.
That was why Agri-Mark was initially formed. It was a new concept of partnering and getting deeper into the marketplace, nearer to the consumers, in order to try to capture a little bit more of the dollar.
Two of the directors came in with the name agricultural marketing. Let's call it agricultural marketing. And I said, let's cut it down to Agri-Mark, and they agreed. So we called it Agri-Mark. We named it Agri-Mark. So I made my mark with Agri-Mark.
And it was a 50-50 deal. And we were supposed to split the profits 50-50. Agri-Mark supplied all the milk to Hood, but it didn't work.
Hood was a great company, but had fallen. The Hood family had not managed it well, and the partnership with Agway and Agri-Mark farmers didn't go as planned, and so we got out of that.
It wasn't easy getting to the position of strength that Agri-Mark enjoys today. Making tough decisions and responding to changing markets brought challenges, like being sued by Fairdale Farms. That costly case took years to resolve, but set an important precedent.
It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and it cost Agri-Mark $1.6 million in legal fees, but we proved that the Copper-Volstead Act was valid and cooperatives could bargain. We were brought to court by Fairdale Farms on using predatory practices to create a monopoly and unduly enhancing the price of milk, and which was, a violation of all antitrust laws. And we never did that. We never used, predatory practices on anybody.
Meanwhile, buying the H.P. Hood Company with Agway may have been a mistake, but it caused good consequences. First, it created Agri-Mark. Second, once Hood was sold, enough capital was raised to merge with another cooperative, this time with much better results.
Fortunately, we were getting some money back. And so we had some dollars we could put into Cabot.
Cabot got into trouble, and basically what they did is growed faster than what they had the equity to support it.
They had created their inventory that was not dedicated to any specific sale. And that inventory was made by from high-priced milk, and the market took a crash.
Well, it was quite a job because the Cabot people were very, very proud of what they had.
But after many meetings, a vote was finally held.
Of the votes cast, 210 were in favor, 37 opposed, with 2 spoiled ballots.
And we were really financed very well. And that we had the ability to maybe take their brand and their products that they were so proud of and bring them on to higher levels.
I think at the time, nobody had any idea that Cabot, the name and the cheese business could grow to what it is today, but with a lot of money invested and a lot of time and the right people, it's quite a cheese business today.
Merging with Agri-Mark in 1992 allowed Cabot to grow and prosper. The Kraft Swiss cheese plant in Middlebury, Vermont was acquired and converted to cheddar sales. Specialty cheddars were developed, and the butter business grew when operations in West Springfield, Massachusetts were enhanced. All of this the result of farmers investing their money in their futures together as a cooperative.
Cabot has been excelled in highlighting the farmer ownership of their company, and that the integrity of the farmers, that versus a company that may be owned by stockholders that may live in who knows over the world.
Cabot is our connection to the consumer, our brands. I mean, that's one thing that we overlook sometimes, that we have a great connection with consumers.
We got a great group up there, and what makes them thrive is growth and profits and more production, more efficiency, more marketing, bigger areas. It's really kind of incredible how it's changed in the last 15, 20 years, but it'll keep on growing and keep on. The people over there want that to happen. It's not just the farmers want it, the people working there want it.
All Agri-Mark directors are dairy farmers, and they are elected by their peers. It is extra work helping to manage a cooperative in addition to running a farm, but mostly a labor of love and confidence in the future.
Probably let my own farm go to heck, but I had the family behind me, and she was behind me all the way, and so it was quite an experience to work in the dairy industry, just for Agri-Mark, but also on the national scene.
If you're looking out what's best in your interest as far as the farm goes, then you're looking out for everybody.
In the cooperative field, you have an opportunity to work together so that you, individual farmers, instead of speaking all many voices, can have their voice heard in one place, and it equalizes a little bit so that you can have an impact on your industry. And without a cooperative, it's very, very difficult.
In many cases, it is a family tradition.
I think our happiest time was last year to see Cricket give his report as treasurer.
Bob Jackier's grandson, Cricket, runs Laurel Brook Farm today. That makes 3 generations of Jackiers that have served on the board of directors.
It gets in your blood. I mean, you know the value of belonging to a cooperative, and you understand the needs of members that would rather sit back and let somebody else do it. And I guess it's kind of been in our blood. My dad was a director for a while, and I found genuine interest.
Neal Ray joined the Agri-Mark board in 1995 and was elected chairman in 2007.
We've had a couple bumpy years in there mixed in, which were actually very beneficial to us for many reasons. One, that we found out that members are very loyal, willing to invest money out of their pocket to save the co-op. We did lose some members there, but we made major investments in our facilities, and they are returning dollars today for us.
One major investment Agri-Mark made in 2000 involved taking a byproduct that had been a problem and turning it into a profit. A whey drying facility was added to the Middlebury plant, turning out whey protein concentrate and permeate.
It was a big investment for the members. It was $20 million. And we were looking for return. They thought the return would be in a number of years. Actually, the return was much quicker. This has become a very value-added product for us, and it's increased our productivity and our financial stability. Kudos to the management and the people that saw the need for that and the possibilities there for the future.
The popularity of the whey proteins program and Cabot's success made it possible to bring the Chateauguay Co-op and Macadam brand into the Agri-Mark family in 2003.
Macadam, we kind of saved that plant up there. I mean, that plant would have probably been closed. But with Carl Peterson and Paul Percy and some of our senior members on the board at the time, they realized how important it was to save these family farms up in that area.
That plant closes and that milk gets dumped on the market. It's going to affect the premiums all through New England because those people are going to be coming after our dealers to sell them cheaper milk. And that was the first thing that we heard about it as a board of directors. And they said, we are looking to see if there's any way that we can get in there and keep that plant open.
It was a very good buy for us.
More farmer members and more milk to help supply the Chateauguay plant came from the Allied Federated Cooperatives. The Canton, New York group of 26 co-ops and 800 farmers joined forces with Agri-Mark in 2006.
Quality's right there at that plant. And I just can't say enough about the employees that we have.
Directors past and present are optimistic about the future. Besides the brands and plants they own and the membership they have, they point to their young farmers programs.
It's a lot of pressure as the young farmer and the young cooperator to make sure that we do not let down the older generation, whether it's on the farm family here or whether it's in the co-op with Agri-Mark.
You know, the legacy that was created before by our forefathers and in the dairy farmers that initiated the Agri-Mark cooperative have really, they're big shoes to fill. Today we're in a really great place because of the hard work that they put forth, but we can't just sit still. You know, we always have to be looking forward.
Stuart and Jessica Ziehm and their families run Taishoke Farm in Buskirk, New York. The couple was recently elected to chair the National Young Cooperators program.
You know, I feel really good, being a young farmer, being in agriculture, and I think that our dairy farms may have to adapt and adjust a little bit, but boy, I don't know if there's ever been a more exciting time to be in agriculture or in food production or in animal care, and I think that we're lucky.
The happy ending is that Agri-Mark can truly represent Northeast dairy farmers. We do not, if we had not merged with Cabot and got that income stream from Cabot and developed the mindset and pride of ownership that our farmers have in owning Cabot, we would not be an independent cooperative.
Well, I'm awful proud that we have worked hard to give the next generation, we hope, an opportunity.
Happy the way it's going, and happy with the guys that were on there, and happy with the directors. I got a lot of good friends with guys that I met through that whole process.
I just think the creativity and the energy of a co-op with individual farmers owning their own company is just such an asset that it can't be ignored.